Okay, I'm going to record this on my computer because I was trying to set up my iPod and it was giving me hell. So, no makeup, no nothing, I don't care. I went to meet up with my radiologist yesterday, and I'm fanning myself because it's hot, and I get really hot when I'm stressed. Um, so anyway, I went to meet with my radiologist yesterday to discuss treatment options, and I am terrified. Um, he said that in July with the scans, the tumor in my brain was 1.3 or 1.5, somewhere around there, millimeters, which isn't very big. But 2 months later, on last week's scan, it's now at 6.6 millimeters. So it's growing pretty darn fast, in my opinion. To go from 1 to 6 millimeters in 2 months, that's pretty rapid. He said that he wants to do one really intense radiation session, which is considered a radiation surgery. Um, and so I would have to go in and do 2 scans, 2 MRI scans, and basically and it's like all different angles and stuff, and so they would overlap that and kind of get like a 3D image of my brain to know exactly the dimensions of it, because with the brain MRI that I had, it's like one-dimensional, and he needs to map around it. He needs to do areas around it so that he can get clean margins. And then I have to get fitted for a mask. So anybody who watches Grey's Anatomy, last season they had a character on there that had brain cancer, and they put a mask on her face and put her in for radiation. That's essentially what I'm going to be getting, and you better believe that I'm going to ask to keep my mask, just like I did with the chest radiation. I didn't have any reservations going into that appointment about whether or not I was going to do it, and I still don't, because if I don't do radiation, I have anywhere from a month to 6 months to live. So it's like, do radiation and hope that it works, or die. Either way, this is not good. The fact that it's made its way into my brain, it's kind of like the seed that sprouts. Like, I'll fight this, and maybe a year from now, I'll have another one. That's just how cancer is. It's very, very terrifying. The thing that really has me, the few things that really have me shaken to my core about this treatment option, and I've been through the ringer the last 2 years. I've had so much chemotherapy. I've had my breast cut off. I've had radiation. I've had a full hysterectomy. Everything has been a lot. But this is by far the scariest thing that I have to do. He said that a possibility of doing this brain radiation is stroke-like symptoms. And for anyone who knows me or has been following my journey for the last 2 years, you know that my mother had a massive stroke last year. Or not last year, but almost 2 years ago. She still can't walk right. She still doesn't have use of her left arm, and she chokes all the time because her body is so messed up. And for those of you who know me, my dad passed away 10 years ago to a brainstem stroke. So the word stroke to me is very, very scary. And I'm already at a high risk for a stroke, and now you're adding this to what's already a potential reality for me. And it's very, very scary. And then I'd also have to be on medication anywhere from a month to 6 months after to control brain swelling. So the reality of this is that I could lose a lot of who I am to this treatment. I could not be able to drive anymore. which would mean that I would need help picking my boys up from school or taking them to school, which is fine because I have friends in this town and they help me as it is. It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So, I don't know. If I do this and I end up being okay, which I hope is the case, then great. But man, walking into this is terrifying. So I don't know when this is going to happen, and he said, you know, think about it, but don't take too long to think about it, because with every millimeter that this grows, something can change from day to day. He's like, you could wake up tomorrow and not be able to walk. I'm assuming that this tumor is in the part of my brain that controls bodily function, you know, like whether I can walk or use my arms or coordination. Because that's what Dr. Cherikou said too, and this is what Dr. Stett said yesterday. You know, he's like, you know, the brain is so intricate that every millimeter is precious. So he's like, take time, discuss it with your loved ones, but don't take too long. He's like, I'd like to get this done within the next 2 weeks. The good thing about it only being one session is that I don't have to stop chemotherapy, because that's something that I asked him. A few videos back I talked about, you know, stopping chemo to do radiation, then the tumors on my diaphragm start to grow. So I'm relieved to know that I won't have to stop chemotherapy just to do radiation. And he said the side effects are increased because I'm doing chemotherapy and my immune system is low. And for those of you who don't know, despite the fact that I've been on chemotherapy since May and it's now growing in my brain, the reason is that chemotherapy does not break the blood-brain barrier. So I could be doing treatment and it won't affect anything going on inside my brain. So that's the update. Once I get closer to actually doing the treatment, I'll keep you posted and everything, but this is terrifying, people, terrifying. And I'm so angry that we have to go through this, because it's not just me, it's hundreds of thousands of people going through this every day. You know, we endure so much. And it's like, no matter what we do, this thing inside of our body continues to grow and will eventually take us. And I know everybody dies, but this is a horrible way to go. Ideally, I would love to just go to sleep when I'm 100 and just go. I think that would be perfect. But I'm not giving up, and I'm not having a bad attitude about it. My attitude has nothing to do with my treatment or, you know, not throwing in the towel, because I have 3 amazing cheerleaders right here at home who love me and cheer me on every day. So I'm already having a lot of headaches, and I'm not looking forward to the headaches that are going to be following radiation. Cancer sucks, people. We need to find a cure, like yesterday. So I hope that that everyone is doing well. Please do not take for granted your healthy body, and make donations to Mediviver.org so that we could get some more research done. Write Ellen DeGeneres and tell her she's running out of time with me, and I'd love to come on the show and share my story and get some acknowledgments down for Mediviver and women and men all around the world struggling with metastatic breast cancer. All cancer sucks. and we need a cure for every cancer. Check your boobs, check your balls, and when life gets really overwhelming, get a fan and fan yourself off. And just remember, this too shall pass. Bye, guys.